as I think the interview that we all hope for on this evening is, of course, Declan Rice.
Declan! Talk to me! What a performance,
I can't, Mike, I can't describe it, honestly. I don't think it's going to hit me what I've done tonight. 2 free kicks in a quarter-final at home against Real Madrid. It's special. I'm so happy. Probably the best moment in my career for sure. Thierry's holding the trophy that he's won probably 100 times in his career.
I mean,
my
look,
first one, so I'm obviously buzzing. But yeah, it was.
They already gave it to him, and I just wanted to make the gesture because the game tonight, guys. I'm just gonna go in if you allow me. First and foremost, like the game that you had is just. I mean, it was crazy the way you played, but you looked like you played the game because you wanted to prove a point. I don't know to who. To your teammates, the fans, or some people, I don't know what, but you were possessed tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in these, in these big games, I always try to step up, and I just thought go out there and have no fear. What have you got to lose? It's a game of football against Real Madrid. If you're going to have fear, good things ain't going to happen. And we really believed as a team that we could win tonight. And went out there every time we had the ball. We tried to be a threat. I tried to run with it as much as I can. Constantly trying to fret. Probably should have had 2 in the first half. I didn't run. I could have had a tap in, the header, and then obviously scored the 2 goals. So yeah, I just went out there. I was fearless, and I was ready to, like you said, to prove a point. And yeah, we did that.
Do you remember when was the last time Arsenal scored a free kick, a direct free kick?
Burnley away, Martin Odegaard maybe.
Yeah, but when was that?
2020, 2021, 4 or 5 years ago.
And you said you wanted to do well, but you have doing well and doing what you did. You know what? I'm going to let Micah in because I had Micah on the phone this morning and he said to me, if you allow me, Micah.
Of course.
He said to me, I want to do something about Declan Rice because I think he is special in that team. So, Micah, you can go.
No, okay. Basically, in the number 6, I think you're fantastic. But in the number 8, I think you're world class because the way you travel with the ball, so athletic, the tackles, the through balls, absolutely everything. So what I wanted to ask you, how do you find it moving it from the number 6 into a number 8 position?
Yeah, I've loved it. Like you said, I feel like I've got the ability to play number 8 and produce goals, produce numbers. It's about having that self-belief, that self-confidence. Obviously, when I first come here, I was playing 6 a lot last year, then moved into 8 at the back end of the season, and then had a conversation with the manager at the start of the season. He said, feel like you can do way more for us. You're so athletic, you're so strong, you make really good runs into the box. You can score goals, your left foot, right foot. He'd give me the confidence, to play there. And in these games when they stretch and they open up, it suits me to a T. And I love just getting the ball and travelling with it and trying to make things happen for my teammates. And yeah, I think the number 8 position is really suiting me at the minute.
Declan, now that we've spoken about the fact that... Sorry, just very quickly, because we've obviously introduced the fact that Micah did the analysis pre-game about you. I can tell you there was nobody who was more Team Declan tonight than Micah. We want to show you his reaction to your goals. Take a look at this.
I'm going to tell you about my man, Declan Rice, making them runs into the box. Lovely little header, but it's a great save from Courtois. That's why he is the best.
Micah absolutely desperate for Declan Rice to do well tonight after his analysis in the pre-game.
You couldn't write it. Is that after the first one?
What did I tell you? He's in the form of his life. Declan, what a guy! I love you so much.
No, I appreciate that. You manifested it and it happened, so we can't ask for much more.
Exactly.
Guys, I just wanted to ask, obviously, Declan, something. The first free kick. Yeah. So obviously, I'm in the stand and I'm thinking, is it Odegaard taking it? And then I see that Bukayo comes and you're coming. I'm thinking, Thibaut Courtois, really? You put 4 men on the wall and you leave that space for a right footer?
Yeah.
What did you think at that particular moment? Because I thought the wall wasn't placed well. I thought he was going to put 5 because if you have 2 men on the ball, you have to put 5.
Yeah. So before this, all this was happening, our set piece coach, we was planning to cross the ball back post.
Yes.
Me reverse.
Oh, that's why he was doing that.
He was doing that. So he wanted us to reverse cross it, to the back post.
So when did you think of shooting?
And then I stood with Bukayo and I said, it doesn't feel right to cross the ball here. And I looked at the wall and then I looked at Courtois, like you said, and I see that space for the right foot around the outside of the wall. And Bukayo said, if you feel it, take it. And I said, you know what, I'm going for it. And if you don't take the risk, you don't score. So, yeah, as soon as it left my foot,
the reward is in the risk.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as it left my foot, I know it had a chance. And, yeah, it's one of them historic moments.
That's more than a chance. I mean, I call
He's taking the credit.
He was like, please, you need to stop. He wanted that ball in the second post.
He ain't taking the credit for that. It was all me.
But okay, we talk about the first one. There was more of a think about it and you have it. But the second one, like, I think you surprised us all. I mean, you can have 10 goalkeepers. I don't know how many walls you want.
I think this what I mean. I think this part of my game gets questioned in terms of like my ability with ball striking and scoring goals. I know I can produce these kind of moments. It's just about doing it more and more. And as soon as it left my foot, I just knew and I had the confidence after the first one. And yeah.
But you know what I like with the technique is that you whipped it so hard early. And you didn't let your leg go so much. Yeah. If you know what I mean, you held it a bit.
Do you know there, like as well?
Okay.
I feel like when I practice these free kicks quite a lot, what I tend to notice is like the more when I make the contact and I like look up quick, it's not the strike I want. When I look down on the ball and just focus on the ball and knowing the spot I want to put it, I tend to have more. I tend to have more consistency with it and. Obviously, look, that's a one in a, I don't know, like moment that I've just done.
Matter.
Yeah, I know. And I've been practicing it and I've been practicing it and yeah, it's come off. And to score two, I think, to be honest with you, it won't hit me what I've obviously done.
Declan, sorry, Thierry. Declan, I just wanted to ask you a question because every time I hear you interviewed, you speak about getting more goals. And it's funny because I almost feel like I defend you about that because when I think of great midfield players in the past and I think of, say, like Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, we never judge those players on goals. But the way the game's become now because it's so stat-driven, and we're part of this as pundits, it's almost like Declan Rice cost 100 million, so he's got to get more goals. Whereas for me, you're just an all-round midfield player who wants to score goals and scored 2 great free kicks tonight. It just, does that play on your mind a bit, this thing that, like, I have to score goals? Because for me, great midfield players of the past were never judged like that.
Yeah, 100%. I think, Cara, as I've got older, I think when I was younger, it probably played on my mind a little bit. But then I've realised as I've got older that, you know, none of that matters. You know, it's just about me going out there and playing consistently well. And I've just tried to do that over and over and over again. Obviously, I'm always going to have my critics. I'm going to have my doubters. That's football. But as long as I can keep, you know, producing on the pitch and playing well and doing well for this club, that's the main thing. There's always so much talk and noise around all of that conversation, and I know you back me up, so I appreciate it.
There's no doubt it's at CBS, Declan, I can assure you.
Jimmy, let him relax. He's got to go. We need him for the second leg, please.
Good to see you guys. See you later.
See you. Well done, brilliant.
Well done so much.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you, Declan. TT, stick with us. You're staying around, aren't you?
Yes.